What's going on, guys? We are checking in here on a solo episode for you guys. And yeah, it's been a wild year so far. Lots of shows, lots of good albums coming out. And yeah, you know what? To make it more complicated, I got back into Magic the Gathering after seeing all the other bands in the scene get back into it. And my wallet is a lot lighter for it. So, if you are seeing your favorite band playing or sharing cards online, just know it is super expensive and it's also a lot of fun. So, jump in and do that. But again, super busy. We kicked the year off with the Emo's Not Dead cruise. We sailed from Miami to Costa Maya, Mexico, and it was fantastic. It was the third straight year that I've had a chance to do that. There's plenty to do, plenty to see. There's a gym in there. Jake Lures has a gym, Your Life Gym in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. He brought one of his trainers out, and she absolutely crushed us. Um, if it wasn't even better, we got those guys on. We had Story of the Year. We had all sorts. We had Dance Gavin Dance on. That was great. Yellow Card was not on, but they are on this year. That's going to be great. God, who else? Hot Mulligan was cool. I caught a few songs from them. But yeah, it is going to kick off again in January. And if you have not gotten your spot, I would go over to endcruise.com and book your spot because they are about 98% sold out. They got the Ghosts Inside on this year, and I am 110% jacked for that. I have been asking and asking and asking for a few years, as have many others, and they are on. We got Don Broco on. Yellow Card is headlining. Dance Gavin Dance is back. We Came as Romans is on. So yeah, endcruise.com. Also, emosnotdead.com will get you 20% off your entire order using promo code Denning at checkout. There you go. But yeah, after the Emos Not Dead cruise kind of docked and we flew back to Portland, Don Broca was in town with Sache 6. That was fantastic. Getting to see Sache 6 was a cool experience. They are a newer kind of R&B heavy guitar hybrid. They're going to be doing some cool things soon, so keep a lookout for that. Don Broco, as always, just gets bigger and better every time. It feels really, really crazy to think that they are 10 years to the date almost when they first came to the States after just crushing it in the UK. Yeah, fantastic. And then March and April, oh my God, I did so much driving. Had Emery and the Classic Crime play together. Hawthorne Heights and Let Live play together. Lamb of God and Kublai Khan. And then The Main and Grayscale. Era and Currents went off as I expected. Super sold out. Drain with No Pressure and Haywire. Just a whole collection of shows just off the wall. Speaking of off the wall, Terror played an extremely packed out DIY venue with Pain of Truth and End It a few weeks ago. People were literally climbing up on the ceiling and dropping off. It was that crazy. But yeah, the alternative music scene is really, really doing well. Most of the shows I'm hitting are either sold out or close to selling out. And I've seen the term blue dot fever floating around social media. The alt scene is definitely not part of that. Those are like the big heavy hitters, your Post Malones, your big pop arena acts. These tickets to these shows are like 35 to $60. So definitely do not be deceived. Grab tickets when you have the chance because a lot of these shows sold out and they will continue to sell out. And yeah, I would hate for anyone to be left out because they did not grab tickets in time. But I also want to go over some albums that I've been enjoying this so far this year. If I'm missing something, it is either because I haven't heard it yet, haven't really listened to it as much as I would like, or I just was not aware of it. So there's about 20 albums that I think are worth highlighting so far this year. The first being Bill Murray's Kinda Hard. It is a continuation of what I loved from Johnny's past few albums. Always Let You Down and More Than Hate were just fantastic, repeatable tracks to jam to in the car when they first dropped. Wage War, It Calls Me by Name EP. If you wanted heavy from Wage War, you absolutely got it. They have yet to come through my area with these songs, but when they do, I doubt they will smash hard. Sache 6, again, I saw them earlier with Don Broco, and I think they could really go far. Again, they have some really solid R&B vocals and heavy guitars, and that's all over the place on this album. Definitely do go check it out. Koyo with Barely Here, one of the most exciting bands in hardcore today, without a question. Fantastic feature from Drain. If you love hardcore, this is a must listen. Go check it out. Go see them on tour. Buy up all their merch. Do that. The Amity Affliction with House of Cards, adding Johnny Reeves to the mix on vocals was a really, really cool, pleasant change. And he had some really cool contributions to the album. And I am really looking forward to what they do next. Terror, this is album number 9 for them with Still Suffer. And they just continue to put out the hardest hitting hardcore. And man, it just comes across in the best way live. If you have not seen Terror in a live setting before, it is a must see. Like I said, I saw them a few weeks back in Portland at a DIY venue, and people were literally climbing up to the ceiling and jumping off. Just without question, one of the best bands in hardcore. I've seen this band so many times over the years, and they never fail to deliver. Go see them. The Foo Fighters dropped a new album this year, Your Favorite Toy. It is the Foo Fighters. You know what you're getting at this point, and this album delivered. I had a great time, great listen. Go check it out. It is the Foo Fighters. Arrows in Action. This is a band that is kind of emerging in the heavy pop subgenre. They work a lot with Sky Accord, who is a musical genius, and everything that he touches is gold. The album is titled I Think I've Heard This Before. They are actually heading out on a headliner of their own in the fall where they were playing a bunch of these songs. So definitely do not hesitate to grab these tickets because they are going to sell fast. Enter Shikari with Lose Yourself. Surprise release. Had no idea it was coming. This one really got me running through their discography and revisiting some of the songs that I really, really enjoy. I was really bummed out to see that they had to cancel their US legs of their tour, and hopefully they're not canceling the Emo's Not Dead cruise in 27. We'll have to wait for that one, but if they do, it'll be a huge bummer. They are super cool. This album is really solid, and if you have not paid attention to what Enter Shikari has been doing lately, this is a perfect excuse to do that. Haywire and Dropkick Murphys with New England Forever. Again, in your face hardcore. Haywire is one of the fastest rising bands in the genre right now. They work harder than most bands. They are constantly touring, constantly putting out new music. And this album rocks. It is awesome. I am glad to see cool collaborations happen, especially with legends like Dropkick Murphys. Fantastic. If you have not seen Haywire before, go do that. It is just nothing like you've seen before. Intense, in your face. You never know what's going to happen next. Keep your head on a swivel. Era, Silence Outlives the Earth. They sold out their co-headliner with Currents earlier this year, and this album is a pretty good reason why. Everything about the band was taken to the next level. Guitars, vocals, drums, absolutely solid. I recall Era opening for a ton of tours over the years, and now to see them sell out a tour of their own at one of the biggest venues in the city, can't get much better than that. Fantastic. Hats off to them. They earned this. Fantastic. Story of the Year with Arson. This is a band that just gets better and better and better. And this album cements that. In addition to all the banging singles, Fall Away featuring Jacoby Shaddix of Papa Roach is by far my favorite. Go spin it. Don Barocco with Nightmare Tripping. I love the fact they have a feature with Nickelback on this album. No, really, go check it out. Go look for it. The music video is even better. But above all that, tracks like Hype Man and Euphoria are my immediate go-tos. Again, Don Broco, they are the band. Go check them out. If you have not heard of Don Broco before, what are you doing? They're a ton of fun live. Just cannot begin to say that they're just a fantastic band. Go check them out. Black Veil Brides put out a new album a few weeks ago, maybe last week, a couple of weeks ago. Vindicate. Whatever Andy Biersack and Jake Pitts were on when they were writing this album, I need some of it. These are some of the best songs they've ever put out. Ave Maria and Woe and Pain is a solid 1-2 punch that'll get you moving, regardless of what kind of listener you are. If you lean more in the radio rock scene or more in the metalcore scene, it'll get you moving. I was blown away by how good this album was. I thought Bleeders was their best track to date. It was until I heard the rest of the record. And some of these songs are on that level, if not better. If they came through and only played songs from this album, I would be pleased. If you wrote this band off prior and never revisited them, this is a good reason to revisit the band. Fan-freaking-tastic. Speaking of fantastic, The Maine with Joy Next Door. I was actually blown away by how solid they were live. I've never seen them before. Haven't really paid much attention to them until now. And this was a fantastic introduction to the band, despite them being at it for nearly 20 years. Can you believe The Maine has been at it for 20 years? I don't feel like they've been around for 20 years, but they have. It is just kind of a testament to how hard they work. They have their own festival, which is cool. I think it's 8123 Festival. That sells really, really well every time. And yeah, The Maine went on one hell of a ripper this year. They brought out Grayscale. Love that. Fantastic. Newfound Glory with Listen Up. One of the all-time goats of pop punk are still at it. 100% is the jam. Long live. Atreyu, The End Is Not the End. I think I can say maybe I loved Alex being in the band. Everyone did. But he's been gone for a really long time. And those albums rock. And they still will. But this one, some of the best Atreyu is on this album. For example, the lead single Dead. Holy smokes. That is arguably top 5 for Atreyu. Broadside, Nowhere at Last. This is a story I love so much. They released an album in the middle of the pandemic in 2020, and it kind of got slept on a little bit. And then they dropped their follow-up, Hotel Blue, in 2023, and then they had a lot of success. They had a lot of success with it, and then now they dropped this one. The sky is the limit for Broadside. I'm super looking forward to see what they do. They've worked their asses off over the last 10 years, and things are really paying off now. And then finally, Lionheart, Valley of Death 2. This is just straight up 30 minutes of pure, hard-hitting, ignorant hardcore. If you love Hatebreed and Kublai Khan, this is an immediate must-listen. I love they worked with Kevin Scaff of A Day to Remember. I think that was a move that paid off really well. And again, if you need a solid 30-minute gym record, boom, pop this in, lift some weights, hit some cardio, they've got you. So again, this was a quick 15 to 20-minute check-in for the mid-year. Lots of good shows happened. Lots of good records happened. If you didn't hear some of these albums when they came out, go ahead, spin them, check them out, maybe buy some merch, maybe buy some tickets. Speaking of tickets, if you have not used SeatGeek before, pop in promo code Denning at checkout for $20 off your first time order. It continues to support the podcast, and yeah, you get $20 off your first time order. They are by far the best third place ticketing app out there. So again, I will be back with a new guest in the near future, and with that, I am signing off. Peace.